Welcome to TWitWoW, the best wrestling podcast made for wrestling fans, by wrestling fans, on the web today. I'm John. That's my coordinate commentary, Ashton. And this is our NXT review. And I gotta tell you, what a way to punctuate Wrestling Wednesday. Oh my God, what an episode of NXT this was. Really, for no other reason than that champion versus champion double title main event. Ricochet versus Pete Dunne. I have got so much to say about that match. I'm sure my co-ordinator commentary, Ashton, feels the same way. We had other things. The singles debut of Jackson Riker. In fact, I think it's just his debut overall, because even in that tag match, he was just a ringside kind of manager of sorts. Women's division keeps fleshing out some minor characters as they kind of make the ascent. And yeah, a bunch of other stuff going on as well. Ashton, what do you think of tonight's NXT, man? I'm going to hand it over to you.
Yeah, you and I were talking before we went live, and because of the crazy events that went down in Lucha Underground tonight, I still got to kind of give the edge to that, but NXT is a close second as far as the quality of wrestling that's going on this Wednesday night. NXT was awesome tonight, and really, it really does come kind of boil down to that match between Dunne and Ricochet. It was excellent. Everything else on NXT was at least decent to good at the same time, but man, that Dunne Ricochet match is definitely going to be something that I hope we get a complete version of at some point, because that was incredible.
Absolutely, man. I completely agree with everything you just said. With that said, I've got nothing else to say about NXT, so let's get into our first segment, Heat of the Night. Dude, I've got no heats tonight with NXT tonight. Sure, on a fandom level, there are things that I could complain about, but objectively speaking, nah, man. I'm feeling good about NXT. This was freaking awesome. I enjoyed it. Gonna hand it over to you. Do you have any heats tonight or nitpicks?
Nope, I'm on the same lines as you, man. We can move on.
All right, then let us get right into our NXT review. And partner, how do we open this baby up?
We open this baby up with a match. Dakota Kai and Deonna Purrazzo, the Flying D's, apparently, taking on Aaliyah and Lacey Evans. Man, this was a match. This was the thing that happened.
Yeah, I am such a mixed bag on this because, okay, I'm going to do kind of my compliment sandwich. Something good.
Oh, God.
I'm just being, because I really am a mixed bag, so I'm just going to do like positive, negative, positive, because I want to be more upbeat. It's been an amazing Wednesday, so I don't want to sour the mood. So, positive. Love the idea of Dakota Kai and Deonna Purrazzo as a team, and more specifically, I love Deonna Purrazzo just on NXT TV. I am so happy for that woman. If you know her story, she's worked so hard to have kind of an aura about her and a credibility as a competitor that when you see her, you know that like she's not just going to job out. Something negative. Lacey Evans exists. I'm sorry. Compared to all the other talent in the ring, I'd even say Aaliyah to me showed more fire and stuff than Lacey, especially that finish. I just got to say, fuck that finish. But something good. And that's the thing. Even though she is associating with Lacey, I'm happy for Aaliyah, who's been kind of a mainstay like on the undercard of the women's division. She's got a bit of an association now. She's still a minor tier heel. I mean, let's not get any delusions about it. But it's cool that she actually got to taste a win tonight, even if I don't like who she won with. And when you think about the performer personally, that's got to mean the world to her. That like, because every time we've seen her, I feel like she's done the job, right?
Yep.
She's actually on the winning team tonight. So again, because I'm feeling like in such a good mood and I'm feeling so like, you know, spirited, I can't be totally down on this, but Dakota Kai is immensely talented, you know, the captain of Team Kick. She did her thing and it looked great. Deonna Purrazzo, you know, trying to get the armbar in on Lacey Evans. That was great. I wish she would have succeeded. Aaliyah, again, I like the fire and the heel aggression of like pulling the hair and forming the face. Like, you know, she's got her swagger about her as a heel, which is really awesome to see. And just that finishing sequence, though, with Dakota Kai with the O'Connor roll on Aaliyah, and then Lacey gets the blind tag, which that was all well and good. You know, we've seen that tactic before in tag team wrestling. But then, really, it's just a very weak woman's right to the face. And I don't know if it's more on the person selling the move or Lacey delivering it, but I know the one she got on Kyrie that had her beat Kyrie, I at least bought it because it's like, damn, like it looks like you took her head off. That woman's right to me. I don't know how you felt about it. I thought it came off looking weak as hell. And just her getting the pin off of it, it's like poor Dakota Kai. She's so much better than this. And so, yeah, like, again, I keep my personal feelings out of heat of the night, or at least I try to. I know sometimes we're more successful than others, but this was definitely the low point of the show for me. So thank goodness it was the first thing on the show, because I'm like, man, that really sucks. But what did you think about all this, man?
Yeah, I feel similarly to you. I don't really have as many complaints about the woman's right as you. I just, I know that there are a lot of people that absolutely hate punch finishers. They don't really bother me that much as long as they look legit. And I would say more often than not, the woman's right looks like it could legit knock someone out. So I don't really have too much of a problem with it.
Right.
I've just kind of gotten to the point that I accept that Dakota Kai is never going to be more than a jobber to the stars in NXT. And Lacey Evans is a future Raw Women's Champion. And there's no doubt in my mind about that.
Oh, yeah. Oh, my God. Dude, we both said Lacey Evans gets a call up. Welcome Alexa Bliss 2.0.
Because like that's, and the thing is, like, it's not even the thing where, oh, she's garbage, but she's hot and blonde, so Vince will push her. She's really not bad. The problem is that she's just not as good as everyone else in NXT. You know what I mean?
Right. Oh, yeah. I mean, dude,
and we're going to have the same complaint on the main roster because she's still, when she gets to the main roster, she's not going to be as good as Becky or Ember or Ruby or Sasha or Bayley. Like there are going to be women that aren't getting pushed that Lacey will be getting pushed over that we're going to be pissed about. But honestly, I would make the argument that as far as in-ring goes, Lacey right now is probably better than Bliss right now.
I would agree with that. I just think, yeah, like when I say Bliss, I don't even mean that necessarily pejoratively at Bliss. It's just, what's the word I've been using with Bliss lately? Overexposed. Get ready for Lacey on the main roster to be overexposed to.
And Lacey's going to get the Elias treatment too, where she's going to get pushed way more on the main roster than she ever was in NXT. And that means a lot too, because she's gotten big wins in NXT.
Oh, yeah. No, Lacey Evans has gold in her future, whether we like it or not, folks. I'm just trying to brace you all for the inevitable because, look, I'll put it to you this way. If Lacey Evans' entire WWE tenure doesn't result in her at least winning one women's championship, I will be shocked. I will buy a hat and I will eat it because, like, it just seems inevitable to me. So her and Aaliyah get the win. I've got nothing else to say about this. Unless you do, we can move on.
All right, man. Up next, we had the Velveteen Dream interview. Bragged about beating Johnny, as he calls him, failure. And then when one of the interviewers tried to ask him about the Aleister Black situation, he just got offended and stormed off because you have the privilege of interviewing Velveteen Dream and you dare ask him a question about someone other than Velveteen Dream? Oh.
Yeah, I love that response. I just love that it was like, yeah, you've got this moment and you're asking the Dream about people that aren't the Dream. Like, just even the way he phrased it, I'm like, this dude is so good. Yeah. So, yeah, love the promo. I have no idea what his future holds anymore. I keep trying to push for, like, Ciampa Dream in a feud, which I still would like to see happen. And Ciampa's reign as NXT champion. It may be a bit too early, though, because Dream still seems like a bit too much of a heel right now. But, I mean, the dude's money. I mean, we've been saying it since day one. Nothing new here. Nothing's changed. Let's move on.
All right, man. Well, after this, we got someone with a camera who found Street Profits, said she was a fan, and that she watches Street Talking all the time. And then Montez says, let's start season 2. Question time starts now. So she asks, you guys are just playing ball. Who won? They laugh as if to imply, of course, they won. And then she says something along the lines of, you guys lost to the Mighty. And I don't even remember what exactly it was she asked to you.
Oh yeah, like, why were you so wrapped up about the chains when the Mighty, like, took your chain?
Oh, that's right. It was the chain thing. They're talking about how it's our culture and they represent our struggle to the top and that kind of stuff. Yeah.
Actually, I gotta ask you something. Oh, God, I'm probably gonna put my foot in my mouth, but I'm just too curious, and you probably know better than me. Was that Bianca Belair as the interviewer? Because
I have no clue. They never showed her, so I don't know.
Yeah, like, it sounded like her to me, And the only reason I ask is obviously we know about the connection between her and Montez. And
right.
Montez
I mean, as far as what it was intended to be, it was intended to just be some random Street Profits fan. But as far as it was, very well could have been Bianca. Yeah.
Yeah, it just sounded like her, and I'm like, is that Bianca? So I just thought I would field that out there. But I never really cared for these. I still don't care for these, which is a shame because I really am excited what Montez is going to do post Street Profits. But for now, it's clear that they're in a program with the Mighty, which, you know what? That's fine. It keeps the Mighty visible, which, obviously I'm focusing on them because I just like them more than Street Profits, if I'm truthful. So it keeps them being visible to the crowd while War Raiders and Undisputed Era and all like the big time teams that are top tier right now are working out their stuff. And then when that battle atop the mountain is over, then hopefully the Mighty can creep up and challenge whoever the champions are, and then they can be a part of the next top tier collision. Ideally. So let's get through this feud and let's hope that the Mighty triumph. So
yeah, man.
What to say about that?
All right. So up next, we did get an interview with Bianca Belair. She said that she wasn't expecting Nikki to take it to that level that she did, but she's not going to let it bother her. And she goes on to repeat that she is undefeated.
That's right. That means never lost.
Wow.
I'm just so intelligent. But no, in all seriousness, I enjoyed it. I'm liking the buildup of Bianca Belair. I gotta wonder when she's gonna get her title match because you know that's where the story's going. Like we all probably figured from day one that Nikki was gonna be kind of Bianca's legitimizer because qualitatively, whether we like Nikki or not, just the idea that she's been in the high profile matches she's been in, even though oddly enough she's never won the NXT Women's Championship, it's gonna be the biggest win in Bianca's career. And it'll probably be the one where she really states her case definitively, give me a title match. So I'm just looking forward to their next bout, which hopefully has some kind of a step on it. I think I suggested last week on the podcast, like false count anywhere or something. I would really love that. So we'll have to wait and see. But yeah, man, I got nothing else to say about that. We can move on.
All right, man. Our next match is, our next segment is a match. It's our second match of the night. And it is Humberto Carrillo taking on Jackson Riker in his in-ring debut. We've seen him before, but this is the first time he's been in the ring. And I don't know if you know this, but Carrillo was Ultimo Ninja in Mexico. He was actually a masked luchador and unmasked to join WWE. He's 22 years old.
Well, look at the big brain on Ashton. No, I did not know that, but I've got a question for you.
I'm sure you do.
After Jackson Riker's singles debut, are you going to forget about Jackson Riker when it's all said and done, or what did you think of his performance here?
Bitch, please. I never forgot about him in the first place.
No, in all seriousness, though, what did you think of this singles match here?
He was dominant, and it fits him because he looks like a dominant motherfucker. He's a beast. He looks like a monster, and it stuck, you know?
Oh, dude, because here's the thing. Obviously, I knew of him as Gunner in TNA, and I remember when he got that big win over Sting, and it's like, oh man, that's pretty huge because they treated Sting like the icon he is, like it was freaking Sting. I like his look here because all those years ago, I remember him. He seemed a bit skinnier to me. I think he had more of like a dirty blondish look going on. I'm liking this new look for him. I'm definitely vibing with it. I like the finisher too, dude. Like the rope rebound kind of power bomb.
I don't know if he's going to be able to do that to everyone though. I'm hoping that's not his finisher for everyone, and it's more of just like a secondary finisher that he can use to beat less credible opponents like he did tonight.
I wonder if he could have like a plausible big boot or a lariat for like bigger guys, if that would like work for him or something. But I guess we'll have to cross that bridge when we come to it. I enjoyed the match as well, man. It was a dominant squash match to your point. I'm really digging Forgotten Sons. Again, I already said last week, I made my sweeping declaration. Like if you build this team up right, I'd love to see them in War Games next year, but they need to be a legitimate faction first. And I think they've got the pieces in play. I really do. Here's to hoping 2019 they get a tag title run, honestly, or if you'd like, maybe even win the Dusty Classic. Have them totally.
Yeah, that's perfect.
Yeah, but again, it's all how they play the cards. Because I'm not doubting the talent. Let me make that clear. It's just all about what WWE wants to do with them. Because look, it's Sanity.
No, but I dig the hell out of that though. I really like that.
No, it's like just me even thinking of ideas for them, like that's the biggest compliment I can give for them. Like I'm so invested in you as a concept that I want to see you succeed because it really is like a cool concept. Like we were these guys that we'd say we were jerking the curtain, but that would imply that we were visible on any level. And now we're here and we're making this impact. I just think that's really freaking cool. In a way, quite distinct from how the Undisputed Era is cool. So I'm really digging NXT's faction situation currently. I think that's really really
shit. I want these guys in a War Games next year.
That's what I've been saying, man. Like you build up Forgotten Sons enough, they are totally believable to me to be in a War Games and to even win the freaking thing if you wanted to. So great job by Jackson Riker. Dig the powerbomb, dig Forgotten Sons. I'm all about it. You guys better get used to me advocating a lot for them going into 2019 because, yeah, I'm definitely riding with this. With that said, let's move on to our next segment.
Well, before we do, I did just want to say, back when he was Gunner, he used a backbreaker rack as his finisher that he called the gun rack. And he also had a fireman's carry facebuster. And then way before that, when he was in the NWA as Phil Shatter, he used a release powerbomb. So basically like a jackknife powerbomb. So he has used different signatures and finishing moves before. And he does have one hell of a big boot too, by the way. I know you mentioned that. But yeah.
Oh, really? Yeah.
So there are other options. I don't think he's going to be able to get like a Lars Sullivan up for the freaking slingshot or the springboard or whatever you want to call it, where he does the powerbomb to the ropes first and then onto the mat. So we'll see how he manages to work around that, or if he just doesn't and figures it out as he goes, and what happens then, we'll figure it out then. But for now, we can move on. And up next, we get Candice LeRae in William Regal's office. And she talks about how, Kyrie Cassius and I didn't see anything, and we didn't do it. I mean, cowardly attack, disregard for authority, attempt to ruin somebody's life. I mean, who does that remind you of? And Regal lets her know that there's no evidence that Ciampa did it. And then he asks Candice if she's going to provide an alibi for Johnny, basically. And she just says that he asked her to wait for him for a little bit. And when he came back, they drove away together. They drove out of the arena together. So
it's funny to me that Candice is so willing to talk shit. Maybe if she expended half that energy reining in her man, they wouldn't have these problems. With that said, God, I have just been vicious all night tonight. I'd apologize, but I was taught not to lie. Even though I do lie a lot, just a man of contradictions.
Yeah, you are.
Yeah. Listen to you, so exhausted. Good segment, man. When do you think this
You just talk in circles sometimes. There's nothing I can do but get exhausted.
But when do you think this whole Aleister Black thing is gonna conclude? Like before TakeOver?
I'm hoping that it concludes before November, because November is War Games. He was supposed to be back at some point in October, maybe early November. So to me, as long as it concludes before War Games so that we can have him versus his attacker at War Games, I'm happy.
Yeah, that would be awesome. Paulie and Gregory making a great point. Candice really jumped the gun to shift the blame elsewhere. Like
I know, right? I got the same vibe. It was like, wow, Candice, like he's asking you, and you're just like, oh, no, we didn't do anything. But what about this other guy that everyone hates?
Yeah, like, wow, Candice. Oh, man. No wonder the Gargano home is crumbling. But yeah, great.
Really trying to cash in those good girl chips, huh?
Yeah, I know. We see you, Candice. We see you.
We see you and we see through you.
Exactly. Look at this man right here. All right. I got nothing else to say. We can move on.
All right. Then let's move on. Up next, we got a video package for Ricochet and Pete Dunne and their whole feud, I guess you could call it, that they've had. And then we find out exactly what Limitless means.
Yeah. What did you think of this Keith Lee video package?
I'm just going to read what I have in my notes because I actually kind of transcribed the whole thing. Who is Keith Lee? What is Limitless? Limitless is taking the advice of the American Dream, Dusty Rhodes, to not quit, to be yourself. Limitless is coming back after failure, after failure, after failure, and overcoming those failures to prove that my drive, limitless. my determination limitless. And now my future in NXT limitless. I invite you all to stop what you're doing. Take just one moment and bask in my glory.
Oh man, Keith Lee.
I love Keith Lee. He's awesome.
Yeah, he's really good. I mean, he already is something. Don't get me wrong with the mark he made on the Indies, but like now that he's
but you just mean as far as WWE goes, he's really something.
He's really gonna be something. Oh my god.
I do want to say, like, I feel like we have to thank Samoa Joe for kind of kicking in some doors as far as fat guys getting into wrestling and making a big deal out of themselves. But Keith Lee is going to go far.
Oh, dude, absolutely. I'm so excited for him. He deserves it. He's probably, for a man of his size and everything, he's probably one of the most innovative men of his size I've ever fucking seen in my life.
I mean, dude, the second we get him versus Dominic Dijakovic, which is just a fucking stupid name, but the second we get that match in NXT, it's going to blow the roofs off.
Oh my god, yeah. I mean, no doubt about it.
People aren't going to know how to react when they see guys that size doing fucking Ranas.
Well, no, it's revolutionary. And really, like, I'm not even trying to be hyperbolic. Like, again, in my 10 plus years of watching wrestling, never seen a guy that looks like him do the things that he does. And it's incredible. He really is limitless. And that's another thing too. Like, I love, because I feel like we've got a handful of them. Keith Lee isn't the only one, but I love that we have these gimmicks where it's not just pure boasting, because when you see them do their thing, it's like, oh shit, they walk it as well as they talk it. And Keith Lee is definitely in that class. So wishing him the best. Can't wait to see him in the ring again. I'm still looking forward to him and Lars Sullivan colliding, which I don't know if that was just purely a Twitter backhand that wasn't going to be a storyline, or if they're still going to have business in the future, because I know Lars is tied up with EC3. But that's a Haas fight I am very much looking forward to. So with that said,
and then the thing is, Lars is the type of guy that Keith Lee could definitely throw a Hurricane Rana against. So
yeah, absolutely.
You might not even have to wait for Keith Lee versus Dominic Dijakovic in order to see the Keith Lee Rana.
Whoa, $5 super chat from Cliff. Thank you very much, Cliff. Keith not becoming world champ would be the ultimate proof that Vince McMahon is a racist. Hey, we keep waiting for that one, I say fully black talent because Brock was half black and, all that stuff. But to really become WWE champion, Keith Lee, I think, could do it. It's just a matter of Vince wanting it to happen. So we'll see. And with that said, I've got nothing else to say, so we can move on.
All right, man. Let's move on. Up next, we got a recap of the EC3 Lars situation, and we are going to have a Lars match next week. They didn't say who it would be against, but it just said Lars Sullivan next week. And another thing that we find out is going to be happening next week, which we knew about but kind of forgot about, Otis Dozovic versus Tommaso Ciampa.
I'm excited for this because the lights are on bright for Otis. This is the kind of matchup that can really kind of determine what the ceiling is for a guy that's in a tag team that might have singles aspirations. So I'm
Dozy.
I'm really looking forward to this, actually. Should be a lot of fun.
Yeah. And then we get to our main event, Ricochet versus Pete.
Oh, yeah.
I'm just going to let you know, John, I really didn't take many notes for this.
That's how you know it was really good, because you were just so sucked in by this.
Well, yeah. Plus, I was also thinking, like, I'm going to just kind of let you handle the bulk of the talking here.
Oh, shit. Okay.
Really, as sort of a summary, I just have Ricochet does freaky athletic stuff. Dunn does joint manipulation stuff. The one note that I had that was like a spot that really stood out to me that I was like, oh, shit, I got to write this down, was Ricochet landing on his feet out of an X-Plex.
Yes.
Immediately into a shooting star press. Was incredible. But yeah, these guys are just both incredible. I mean, really, I don't know if there is a word that heaps enough praise onto this match that's worthy of this match to actually use.
I mean, you said you'd let me do the bulk of the talking, so I'm just going to get started. I mean, Jesus, tap dancing Christ. Like, this fucking match, dude. Like, for me, starting from the general to the specific, this match is everything right with pro wrestling. Because Dunn is young as fuck, and that should terrify everybody both in the business and out of the business whose 20s are over, because like what he's managed to do in his mid-20s is just fucking horrifying.
I mean, barely even mid. He's still practically early 20s. He's only 24. He'll be turning 25 soon, but still, like, he's still like his brain hasn't even finished forming yet. He's so young.
Yeah. It's unbelievable, dude. It's absolutely unbelievable. Ricochet, you know what? God damn it. This must be the first time that it's happened, because with like the whole LU shit and everything, like I held a grudge for so long. Dude's so good. It melted away. I'm just fucking happy that he's happy. Fuck it. It like the talent's undeniable. When you're good, and we said for high flyers specifically, he's in the conversation, like the top 3, him, Ospreay, Phoenix, and even just wrestlers in general. If he's not in the conversation yet, at this trajectory, he'll fucking get there. And I'm sure for other people, he's already in that conversation, period. So what does that tell you? Their chemistry was insane. Love how Dunn takes it to the mat. And again, the grounding and the joint manipulation. It contrasts beautifully with Ricochet's high flying. And I don't take notes. I usually call things that I want to talk about on the podcast mental notes. The biggest mental note I have, this match was so fucking good that even the crowd was on their A game. I give Full Sail a lot of shit these days because I think they're toxic and obnoxious and all that stuff. But the respect they showed to both guys. I mean, the chants, one and only Bruiserweight or Ricochet, Bruiserweight. It was going all match. I feel like there were very few periods, like very few pauses in their chanting and in their energy. The energy was up the whole time. Commentary, of course, on their A game. And it's often said in wrestling that the crowd is like the third man. Lately, and by lately I mean like last few years, I feel like they've become the third man in a more obnoxious way. Like they try and divert the attention. They were the third man here in the best possible way, where they remained in the background, but also participating positively in the foreground. I loved it. And the one fan that really stuck out was the woman in the Millie McKenzie shirt, because her facial reactions to near falls or Pete Dunne eating offense, like that axe kick to the head he got hit with for a near fall by Ricochet. I was living for all of it. I'm like, that fan right there is why pro wrestling is so fucking good, because you just lose yourself. You don't care who sees you. You don't care whatever. You're just emoting. You're letting your emotions out. And I fucking loved it. I thought it was so good. The X-Plex on the apron by Dunn was great. Like you said, where he tried the X-Plex earlier, but Ricochet landed on his feet, and then he does the standing shooting star on the back. That was phenomenal. The DDT that Ricochet got on Dunn, where he just spiked his fucking head in the canvas. Yes. I mean, like, Paul really had the best, most succinct soundbite speaking for me here. He said, when a match can still be a match of the year candidate with a fuck finish, you know it's good. And that's the thing.
And we even discussed that prior to the show. You said, like, that was a match of the year candidate. And I was like, yeah, it definitely should be, but I can't give it my match of the year because of the lack of a finish. Like, I just can't give my match of the year to a match without a finish. But here's to hoping these guys have another match and then it does have a finish so that it actually can be a match of the year in my eyes at least.
And that's the thing. Like, if this didn't have a fuck finish, this would have been, to me, in a WWE context and even in an NXT context, which I think sets the bar even higher, this would have been a perfect match. Like, Pete Dunne's starting to scare me, because the match of the year candidates that he's putting
him and Bate, man, dude, I can't believe prior to that freaking UK tournament last year, it blows my mind that neither one of us had ever heard of either one of those guys, because they are way too good to have been relative unknowns prior to that tournament. And the WWE, the fact that the WWE found them and had the faith in them to give them that spotlight, good Lord.
Ashton, I'm so glad you said something along those lines, because my next remark was going to be about how, like, what they've entrusted Pete Dunne in particular with, to have this long of a title reign this young. Like, and he's not one of those party types. From what I know, his attitude, I haven't heard anything about backstage heat or any of that shit. If he can keep his head on straight and keep hitting it out of the park with these responsibilities, whatever trap we might think they might put him in, like if there's a British equivalent of 205 Live or whatever, I still am putting my fucking chips on the table and saying this kid is a future WWE champion. I am not backing off until his career's over. Because as long as that man's breathing, there is a chance because his talent is fucking undeniable. The idea that he's not even anywhere close to his 30s and he's this good at his craft. Like, it makes me cry in every conceivable way. Like, it's beautiful, it's maddening, it's everything. And again, that's not to shortchange Ricochet. I mean, yes, he's amazing, astounding, breathtaking, and everything in between. I just focus on Dunn again because of the youth.
And dude, the craziest thing is Ricochet's not even 30 yet either.
He's like, what, 29?
Yeah, I mean, he'll turn 30 in less than a month, but still.
Yeah. Like, it's crazy. Fucking absolutely insane to me what these two went out and did. I mean, I wasn't surprised because I knew, like, with the stakes, it would get a lot of time and who was involved. But, like, nothing compares to actually seeing it play out. You can think...
Well, yeah, and I think we both kind of knew in the back of our minds that there wasn't going to be a finish to this as well.
Right. Dude, can I mention another spot, too, that I fucking love just because it illustrated the contrast so brilliantly between these two? That there was a point where they were fighting on the outside. Ricochet tried a ring post-assisted moonsault. Lands on his feet
like Dante Fox did in Hell of War.
Yeah, like... And then Dunn meets him straight with a forearm to the face.
Yeah,
like it's just like, oh, I'm gonna do this flashy thing that's gonna take the breath away. Oh shit! I landed on my feet. Bam! Forearm to the face. Like perfect contrast between how these two govern themselves, what their styles are, and everything else. Everything from just their offense.
You sound speechless.
I mean, dude, this was so fucking good. Like everything from their offense to the crowd, just everything was on point. If wrestling is art, everything came together at the right time. This was just a scintillating symphony of the best way. Just the best freaking way. And then the finish happened, but you can't even, given who the heels were, because it was Undisputed Era obviously doing the run-in, Cole having history with Ricochet, because Ricochet took the North American title from him. Obviously, the whole Undisputed Era has had qualms with Pete Dunne for quite a while. And, you know, they needed this, though, because this was this great fucking match, and they go in and they ruin it. And I've been saying forever now, you know, they're a cool faction. It's hard to hate on them when you're as good as they are, and you have the aesthetic they do that I think really plays off well. And, again, it's got that likability. Well, how do you get heat? Let's shit all over this, like, instant classic that these two are putting on. And then War Raiders try and get some, and, you know, Undisputed Era... They kind of, evade it. And I love that Adam Cole straight up calls them dorks. Like, nice try, dorks. And then they give pursuit. And then the perfect cherry on top, the Ricochet and Pete Dunne both are covering, both handed their respective titles. And the crowd chants NXT and a little bit of both these guys. And that's how we close. Like, what a fucking image. What a fucking main event. If NXT keeps doing, like, because I don't know the last time they did one of these, but if they do like another best of NXT DVD, this match needs to fucking be on there because like this really was NXT at its finest.
Dude, yeah, I feel like NXT's gotten to the point that they're just churning out match of the year candidates, and even on NXT television, they'll have one like once or twice a year. It's unbelievable how ridiculous NXT has gotten as far as match quality goes.
It really is, dude. But then again, when you've got the talent that they're working with.
Yeah, that's the thing, too, is it really does come down to the ridiculously stacked roster. Because, like, they're combining the best of, like, mid to late 2000s ROH with the best of, like, last 5 years worth of PWG at the same time. Like,
yes.
Really unfair.
it really is. And that's the word for it. Like, good luck, everybody else.
Yeah.
Just holding all the fucking good. Like, because here's the thing. While Lucha Underground tonight was the best overall show from beginning to end, I'm really tempted to say that Ricochet and Pete Dunne had the best match of the night, just with all the shows we watched. Because that was really good, man. I don't know. That was insanely good. I got nothing else to say about it. Is there any other moments that you wanted to spotlight or anything else you want to say about this?
I don't think so, man. I just don't have much to add.
Shit, this match was great.
Yeah, it was.
All right, guys, let's get into our next segment. But before we do that, of course, I want to do ending plugs very quickly. First of all, follow Ashton and myself on Twitter. Ashton's pinned tweet is the TWitWoW schedule for the month of September. It's almost coming to a close, but we're still coming at you guys with that good, sweet TWitWoW content. So be sure to follow him. Follow the TWitWoW schedule. It's all right there for you. My pinned tweet, on the other hand, is to collect Q&A questions. It's after midnight where I am, so I'm going to say you guys have 1 week. Q&A is September 27th. It's the last Thursday of every month. My pinned tweet is to collect those Q&A questions. You can submit them Twitter, YouTube, Facebook, Discord. More on that in a moment. Everybody's permitted up to 4 questions per Q&A. You can divide them up however you like. So get those questions in. Be sure to take a look at our Teespring store. A lot of merchandise there, from Scum Squad mugs all the way to Kevin Owens t-shirts, because he's a father. Damn it. Owen's probably so disappointed at the moment. It's okay. Daddy will bounce back, I'm sure.
Dude, I can't hear a word you're saying right now. I know you were trying to speak under your breath, but that was completely inaudible.
All right. Well, I'm a bit closer to the mic now. Hopefully that's better. But anyway, like I was saying, guys, a lot of merch on the Teespring store. Check it out. And then finally, I want to plug the Patreon. Obviously, like, our new goal, if you guys haven't known for a while, we've kind of shelved Progress Live reactions for the time being. So our new goal is to do SmackDown Live and 205 live reactions. Comes out to the same monetary valuation as Progress, which would be $120 a month. If you want to help keep our projects going, the best way you can do that is donate $3 and join the TWitWoW Discord. It's an amazing fan server with the most passionate TWitWoW fans, and we talk about everything under the sun. You'll find a home there very quickly, I promise. And when you donate that $3 and join the Discord, every month that you sustain that donation and keep the $3 going, that accrues, and pretty soon you'll have enough money to make a donation for a Patreon request. It's a personal review that we do on the channel. We've done several already, and we even have 2 coming up this week. So check them out. Get your finger on the pulse of how we handle it. And if you're interested, please donate $3 to keep our projects going, because we've really been enjoying live reacting to SmackDown Live and 205 Live. It's been a hell of a lot of fun. We'd like to keep it up. So with that said, done all the necessary plugs, let's get into high spots and low shots. And I'm going to say that my low shot is Dakota Kai. She once again looked great, but wasn't really able to connect all the dots. She ate a woman's right and got pinned by Lacey Evans. So a rough night for the captain of Team Kick.
Yeah, she had a rough night for sure. You know, you actually kind of make it tough for me to pick a low shot, because she was kind of the most obvious one. But I guess for now, oh man, this is actually really difficult now. There isn't really anyone else, is there? Shit.
Well, you could pick her partner since she was on the losing team.
Well, yeah, but Deanna didn't lose. She just was with someone that lost. Shit, man. You left me with nothing.
Well, you can always co-sign with me.
You know what? I do have a low shot, and it's a little bit more of a creative one. My low shot's Adam Cole.
Okay.
I know, it's weird, because he's going to be my high spot too, because he was also on this show, which means he's automatically immediately my high spot, but he fucked himself over. He's got to remember, he was first in line for whoever won that match. So he would have had an opportunity to beat one guy and win 2 titles. He screwed himself over by interfering in that match and causing no finish.
So are you saying, for the public record of TWitWoW, that Adam Cole made a mistake?
I'm saying that Adam Cole's existence is my always and forever high spot, but Adam Cole's decision making on this one night is my low shot.
It's a lot of words, but we'll let it go. And I definitely understand the logic, however. So interesting pick. My honorary high spot, and I'm doing it because it's our podcast and I'm in the mood. Got to give it to Full Sail as a crowd. They really showed up for that main event. They were the best kind of fans. I felt proud to be a fan. Excellent job by Full Sail. You get my honorary high spot. As for my actual high spot, because I'm also feeling it, repping the Forgotten Sons, I'm going to go with Jackson Riker.
Nice.
Dude is freaking great. The whole concept, again, of Forgotten Sons is freaking great. Nothing more to say. He won, and I'm really hoping that we can get used to the Forgotten Sons winning because I am all about that. So Jackson Riker's my high spot.
Nice. So you all know already that Adam Cole is my high spot, but my kind of consolation high spot is going to go to the both members of the main event tonight, and not just because they had the amazing match, but also because, like I just kind of mentioned, Adam Cole kind of bailed them both out. By Adam Cole having the Undisputed Era interfere in that match, he prevented both Pete Dunne and Ricochet from either A, losing their title, which I'm sure they're happy about, or B, having to be double champion, which, I mean, we've seen it happen a whole bunch of times, and everyone that's ever been a double champion has fucking hated being a double champion because they have to defend the title twice in one night when it comes to time for a pay-per-view, or in this case, a takeover. So these guys should be thanking their lucky stars, and more importantly, they should be thanking Adam Cole for doing them the favor of preventing either one of them from either A, having to lose their title at all, and B, having to go through the rigor of being a double champion. So you're welcome, both of you.
I am fucking amazed that you didn't pull a muscle with that fucking stretch.
What? What stretch?
Making Adam Cole's mistake, which I thought we just acknowledged earlier was a mistake.
No, that's why he was my low shot. It was bad for Adam Cole. It was good for those guys, though.
But I love that it's still like casting this brilliant light on Adam Cole for being so charitable.
No, it was a foolish mistake, but they should still be happy about it.
I mean, you're not wrong. You're not wrong. It's just Cole to Cole is still very strong, I take it.
Whatever you say, man. And by the way, it's the Cole aid.
Oh, my mistake. So, yeah, but no, man. I mean, you're not wrong. It really is one of those situations where they risked everything and they lost nothing. So, I mean, if that's not a high spot,
you know what, Paul? Believe it or not, I don't think this is the first time that I've had somebody be a high spot and a low shot in the same night. I just don't remember when it was that happened before, but I'm pretty sure it
happened. Yeah, I mean, it kind of struck me too. I'm like, damn, that's they're just playing the field. Which, I mean, it's Adam Cole, so I guess that's not too surprising. But regardless.
Yeah, I mean, Adam Cole owns the field, so I'm allowed to play it.
Wow. And we're right back to it, folks. Do you have any concluding remarks about NXT before we close out?
No, let's go home.
All right, yeah, I'm going home indeed. Guys, this has been NXT. This has been TWitWoW, the best wrestling podcast made for wrestling fans, by wrestling fans, on the web today. I'm John. That's my co-ordinator commentary, Ashton. Guys, when this video is done processing, please comment. What did you think about the double title matchup? What do you think about Lacey Evans getting this little mini push, pinning all of these, quote-unquote, indie darlings, as they could be pejoratively referred to by the First Lady of NXT. Talk to us. Let us know what you thought about NXT and all of its happenings in the comments. Oh, and I guess keep up those theories about who you think it's Aleister Black, because they clearly haven't resolved the investigation yet. Like the video, the more likes you leave, the more likely we are to be the top search result for NXT reviews on YouTube. And when you're the best at what you do, the top is the only place that you belong. So please leave that like, subscribe if you haven't, and click the bell icon for notifications for whenever we go live so you never miss out on any of that TWitWoW goodness. With that said, guys, you can catch us tomorrow at 4 p.m. Eastern time for our Lucha Underground review. And my God, we have a lot to talk about. I can't wait. I have a feeling this is going to have major implications for Ultima Lucha Cuatro. So I'm stoked as hell to talk about LU tomorrow. Again, that's 4 p.m. Eastern time. And until then, guys, tune in and peace out.